Hey everyone, Brendan Sutter here, how are you? So I am outside Darkside Records in Poughkeepsie, New York. And the thing is, I was actually supposed to meet Pete Pardo from Sea of Tranquility out here. We were gonna go together, we were gonna film a whole Let's Go to the Record Store video just for you guys, the two of us, and unfortunately, he got a flat tire, so he can't join today. I'm so bummed about that, I'm sure you guys are too. Don't worry, we're gonna reschedule that. But I've heard about this place from so many different people, including my friend Chris Profi, who's up here, but he's a teacher, he's in school, so he can't go with me here, so it is just me, but I'm gonna have a lot of fun. I've never been to this place, and I'm super excited to see what they got going on here. So, hey guys, why don't you join me, and let's go to the record store. I actually just purchased their latest album. This one here, I believe, is the debut, but I guess I'm going to be adding this one to the collection now. This is cool. I've been looking for some more Adrenaline Mob, and now I found some here. I get to add it to my collection. Very cool. Angel's one of those bands that, since reforming, I think they are doing better today than they did back then. It sounds a little different. It's a little bit more sort of glam metal-y sounding than their progressive stuff of the 70s, but I'm really digging it. All right, this one here from Michael Angelo Battio. Man, this guy is a shred monster. If you want to hear some amazing shred guitar, check this guy out. Here's another cool one you don't see very often, Circus of Power, Magic and Madness. Man, I loved this album back in the day. It was my first one from them, and then I went back from there. But great album and great price at $4.99. Here's a cool little find, Dare. This one here has Darren Wharton, a keyboard player who played with Thin Lizzy at the end of their career, but pretty cool find. Look, any store that carries Enough's Enough, no matter which album it is always right in my book. So it always pays to hunt, finding the Four Horsemen. This is actually their, well, I think it's their debut album, but they had an EP out before this. They had done some other stuff, so a lot of people think this is the only album, but no. They've got definitely a second one after this, and they've got an EP before it. Lots of cool hidden gems today. Gun, Gallus, what a great album. This one I've already got. I was actually looking for the debut, but maybe another time. All right, here's a cool Japanese single from Halloween, the reunited one when they did Pumpkins United. 2 tracks on it, 1 orchestral mix version of it. King's X never gets enough love. This album here, their most popular one, with It's Love on it. But man, this band has been going on forever, and Doug Pennick and the rest of the guys in the band really deserve more love. Kill for Thrills featuring Gilby Clarke, who went on to join Guns N' Roses and certainly have a successful career after that. He does a lot of production these days. I wish he would do more musically, but cool. Kill for Thrills debut album called Dynamite from Nightmare Land. I don't care what anyone says, man. KK's Priest is on par with Judas Priest. They are so good. KK Downing, along with Tim Ripper Owens, man, they're doing it. All right, guys, so you can see I've already found 10 CDs here. I'm doing really well. I don't know how many I'm gonna walk out with. I could probably walk out with double this number, but I've already put some stuff back because it's gonna add up, as you know, but I could probably spend all day, and I might just do that. Well, as I always say, if there was a big five, a fifth band as part of the big four, Overkill should be that band. Here's a cool little one, The Poor, Who Cares? This was kind of late on the glam metal scene. They're pretty much straight up rock. 1994 this came out, but I got to see them open for Scorpions, and that was a really cool show. Man, here's a really cool find, Rockhead. This was Bob Rock's band, 1992, had a bunch of guests on it and co-writers and stuff from famous people, Bon Jovi and other bands that he had worked with and stuff like that. I love this album. I wish it had done more, but you know, 1992, it just wasn't the time for this kind of stuff. I love finding these newer metal bands like Stallion, Rise and Ride, you know, doing more of the new wave of traditional heavy metal sound out there that a lot of bands aren't doing anymore. You know, when our heroes like Judas Priest and stuff like that go, it's going to be bands like this that will continue it on. So I'm going through the shirts and I found this really cool Tesla one here, but it looks like it's a vintage shirt because it's 75 bucks. I was gonna pick it up, but I don't think it's a reprint. Like I said, I think this is a vintage one from someone's collection, but pretty cool. Second album for the band, Widowmaker, Stand By For Pain. This was a Dee Snider project that he did after Twisted Sister. First album, kind of in the vein of Twisted Sister. This one here, much, much heavier. But then again, that was the era, that was the time. Bands were changing. Here you go. Favorite White Lion album, Main Attraction. If you guys haven't tuned in and know, I just recently interviewed Mike Tramp of White Lion. And you should check it out. It was a great interview. We had so much fun doing it. But yeah, this is my favorite White Lion album. Hey guys, remember White Trash? Kind of a ska rock band, had the horns in it before it all got really popular with No Doubt. Great album here. This one had songs like Apple Pie, The Crawl. So good, man. Always wish this band did a lot more. I think they made one, maybe two more albums, but never quite like this one here. And they've also got turntables and stereo equipment here too for you guys. So a lot of cool stuff in this store to check out besides just music, things to play it on as well.
Main menu.
Man, Faith No More, Angel Dust. What a great album. So underrated. A lot of people go back to the album right before this, and I love that album, but this one here was so good, especially at the time when it came out. Man, I couldn't get enough of it. Absolutely love this album, Motorhead 1916. Of course, I'm a CD guy, but man, this is one of my absolute favorites from their catalog. All right, here we go. We are done. It's always a little sad when we're leaving, but I made some good scores, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. All right, guys, so I am back from Darkside. I got some loot, so even though Pete wasn't able to go along with me, I still made out like a bandit. I still had a great time there. That place is pretty big with a lot to go through. I'm mostly focused on the CDs. Did get through some vinyl, but that place, I ended up spending 4 hours in it. Now, that's my first time in it, so I really wanted to go through it top to bottom kind of a thing. In future visits, I won't necessarily need to do that, but if I find for myself, I need about 3 hours in a record store. That's just me, but I love to start in the A's and go all the way through it. And they had a section for metal, they had a section for rock, they had a section for punk. So there's a lot of going through on all that. But like I said, man, I scored, I made some loot. Let's check it all out real quick. I don't even know how much it is here. It must be at least 10 things. So found this, Sister Sin. I think it's their first album, only $4.99. You guys know I was getting into Cobra and the Lotus and other female-fronted metal bands that are a little bit newer. Found an Adrenaline Mob album that was there, so that was cool. This is a new band, but it's one of the ones, it's a throwback to the new wave of traditional heavy metal. Air Raid, I've got another one of theirs that are on order. This one here being a Japanese edition of their debut album, which is kind of cool. Found this old school thrash metal band called Death Row. That was really awesome. I love finding original releases of these things. I got a few of them here today. Sanctuary, when they got back together, I think this is a later one. The Year the Sun Died. I have their first 2 albums, but glad to pick that up, of course. I think 2 of the guys go on to Nevermore. I think that's what happened there. Found a jewel case copy of this, Nazareth, 2x S, 2 times S. I don't know what that stands for, but this one here, I think the album's 1982. Always loved this. Didn't have that album. Found Night Demon, their debut EP, I guess. 4 tracks on it here. So that was cool. I think that was the only thing I was missing from them. Christian rock or Christian metal Guardian, 1993. Second studio album, I believe. I had the debut album for a long time. Got rid of it at some point. Of course, now I wish I hadn't. But at some point, I'll get that back. Found this, David Johansen, Sweet Revenge. I've got it on vinyl because I couldn't find it on CD. Well, here you go. Found one on CD. Now, it's the only one that I was missing from his solo catalog. Very, very 80s. You know, sounding stuff that's on here. It's not like the stuff with New York Dolls. I was a little shocked when I first heard it, but still, you know, good. Henry Lee Summer. I don't know much about him. I just saw this album cover and I said, man, I got to check this stuff out. Somebody who toured with John Mellencamp and I can't remember all the other ones, but artists of that same type and style. I think the album came out in '88. It's on CBS Records. I don't know anything from him, but listened to some of it, enjoyed it, thought, hey, I'm going to throw it in here. Vicious Rumors, and this is a Welcome to the Ball, and it's an original Atlantic Records pressing of it. I've got this from Wounded Bird, but I much rather have the original copies whenever I can. David Knopfler, Mark Knopfler's brother, also band member from Dire Straits, solo album, '88. Pretty good stuff here too. Same thing. So all these things, you guys see me with my headphones on when I'm in these stores. What I'm doing is checking this stuff out to make sure that I really want it. And then this, Halloween, Pumpkins United, Japanese CD single release. I had to pay a little bit extra for it because it's Japanese and only has the 2 tracks, but I don't have it, and it is a release from theirs, and I needed it to complete the collection, so I did. So, yeah, man, in all, I think I did pretty well. Let's see how many total I got there. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Add this in, 13. 13 things was a really good score. I got a couple other Darkside stickers and things in here, too, and picked up that bag itself so that I can, you know, have a logo bag from the store. But I hope you guys enjoyed the visit. It was a lot of fun. Pete and I will reschedule to do a joint record store visit together. We're talking about doing, what's the other one that's up there that's in Milltown? Fantasy, Rock Fantasy. That one, there's some other ones that are around in that area. After 4 hours at this one, I didn't have any energy left to venture out to try some of the other ones. So while I did mention earlier this week that I was going to be doing Rock Fantasy and this one here, Darkside, I only did Darkside. So don't be looking for a video on Rock Fantasy just yet. But I will be making the trip up there at an hour and a half. No big deal. I was happy to do it. All right, everyone. Take care. Have a good one. And I'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.